National Electrical Code Section 358.12, concerning reducing fittings, dictates specific requirements for changing conduit sizes. This section is important when transitioning from underground conduit to above-ground installations, or in any scenario where the conduit trade size needs to be reduced. The core principle is that listed reducing fittings must be employed whenever the conduit trade size is decreased. This requirement ensures mechanical integrity and proper grounding continuity throughout the raceway system. The term listed refers to equipment that has been evaluated by a recognized testing laboratory, such as Underwriters Laboratories, Intertech, or CSA Group, and found to comply with relevant safety standards. These laboratories subject products to rigorous testing to verify their performance, safety, and suitability for their intended application. Using listed fittings provides assurance that the connection will be reliable and maintain their required electrical characteristics. When selecting a reducing fitting, several factors must be considered. Firstly, the fitting must be compatible with the types of conduit being joined. Different types of conduit, such as rigid metal conduit, intermediate metal conduit, electrical metallic tubing, and rigid polyvinyl chloride conduit, have different dimensions and thread types. The fitting must be designed to accommodate these variations and provide a secure and electrically sound connection between the two conduit sections. Secondly, the fitting must be suitable for the environmental conditions in which it will be installed. If the installation is located in a wet or corrosive environment, the fitting must be made of a material that is resistant to corrosion. Common materials for reducing fittings include galvanized steel, stainless steel, and non-metallic materials. Thirdly, the fitting must be sized correctly for the conduit sizes being joined. Reducing fittings are available in a wide range of sizes to accommodate various conduit trade sizes. It is crucial to select a fitting that matches the inner and outer diameters of the conduits to ensure a proper fit and prevent stress on the conduit and fitting. The NEC does not specify the maximum allowable reduction in conduit size that can be achieved with a single fitting. However, it is generally recommended to avoid excessive reductions in size, as this can create a bottleneck in the raceway system and impede the pulling of conductors. In situations where a significant reduction in size is necessary, it may be preferable to use multiple reducing fittings in series rather than a single fitting with a large reduction. The NEC provides requirements for supporting conduit, found in Section 344.30 for rigid metal conduit, Section 348.30 for electrical metallic tubing, and Section 352.30 for rigid polyvinyl chloride conduit. These sections specify the maximum spacing between supports for different sizes of conduit. It is important to ensure that the conduit is properly supported near the reducing fitting to prevent stress on the fitting and the conduit. In addition to using listed reducing fittings, it is also important to follow good installation practices when making conduit size reductions. The conduit end should be properly reamed to remove any sharp edges or burrs that could damage the conductor insulation. The fitting should be securely tightened to the conduit using appropriate tools and techniques. Any exposed threads should be protected with a suitable thread sealant or tape to prevent corrosion. It is also important to consider the grounding requirements for the raceway system. According to NEC Section 250.4, metal raceways must be effectively grounded to provide a low impedance path for fault current. The grounding connection must be made in accordance with NEC Section 250.8. When using reducing fittings, it is important to ensure that the grounding continuity is maintained across the fitting. This can be achieved by using listed grounding fittings or by installing a bonding jumper around the fitting. The transition from underground conduit to above-ground conduit presents unique challenges. Underground conduit is often exposed to moisture, chemicals, and other corrosive elements. It is important to select conduit and fittings that are suitable for these conditions. Rigid polyvinyl chloride conduit is a common choice for underground applications due to its resistance to corrosion. However, rigid metal conduit can also be used if it is properly coated to protect it from corrosion. When transitioning from underground to above-ground conduit, it is important to ensure that the conduit is properly sealed to prevent moisture from entering the raceway system. This can be achieved by using a listed sealing fitting or by applying a suitable sealant to the conduit joints. The NEC also addresses the requirements for sealing conduit where it enters a building from underground. Section 300.5 discusses underground installations, specifically paragraph G, which addresses sealing. This section requires that where conduit enters a building from underground, the interior of the conduit shall be sealed to prevent the entrance of moisture or gases. Spare or unused raceway shall also be sealed. Sealing shall be accomplished by the use of an approved sealant, duct seal, or other approved methods. In addition to the NEC requirements, it is also important to comply with any local codes or regulations that may apply. Local codes may have additional requirements for conduit installations, such as requiring the use of specific types of fittings or requiring inspections by a qualified electrical inspector. Proper conduit installation is crucial for ensuring the safety and reliability of electrical systems. By following the NEC requirements and using good installation practices, it is possible to create a safe and reliable raceway system that will protect conductors and prevent electrical hazards. In summary, NEC Section 358.12 mandates the use of listed reducing fittings when changing to a smaller conduit tray size, especially in transitions from underground to above-ground installations. Always ensure proper material compatibility, environmental suitability, correct sizing, adequate support, proper grounding continuity, and compliance with local codes.